be the title right there. Welcome to the Arms Room 15 podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am joined again with my favorite two friends. And today we have one that is brought up by Devin. Devin has a little bit of a topic that he wants to go off. And Eric seems to love bringing gadgets here, you know, over there and over here.
This one Josh brought.
I brought this to the party.
You can't own that.
Yes, I can.
No, you're not allowed to own that.
Joe Biden said so.
Well,
You
Joe
can't
Biden.
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe's a moron.
You can't do that.
We're getting political, and you started it.
Hey,
Actually, I started.
Okay, you started it, but you mentioned Joe.
Hey, Joe's not political. You have to be cognizant to be political.
All right.
I mean, technically, he's not wrong.
Also, I'm sporting the new shirt. Oh, wait. Wait, no. There you go. Need money for guns. Don't we all?
We did not make that shirt.
No, we did not.
Maybe someday we'll make our own shirts. We'll get in that business.
One day, sooner or later.
One day, someday.
But all the good designs are coming, already. So
If you want us to make shirts, tell your friends so we can get a big enough audience.
Right.
Sure enough. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I met a couple of one of my old army buddies.
Okay.
Recently, and he brought a friend. Now his friend subscribed to our channel. So.
Oh, awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. So.
Thank you for that. What's his name? Shout him out. Give him a shout out.
His name is John.
John?
Yeah.
Here's to you, buddy. Thank you.
I can't pronounce his last name, but
He knows who he is. I'm sure he doesn't want us to shout him out.
you know who you are.
We're like, this is his name. This is where he lives. Go tell him hi. I'm pretty sure he's going to hate all of us for that one.
Do it by surprise in the dead of night, too.
Right?
I think you'll be the one surprised. If he likes our channel, he'll be the one, whoever shows up at his door,
That's the point. I mean, I'd like to just sit and watch.
Well, cool thing is he's a government contractor, so he's good.
Oh, yeah. So he's going to know you're coming before
yeah.
know you're going.
No, maybe not that bad. Anyway.
All right, Devin. Let's hear it.
Okay, so we were talking about this earlier. Just so you know, I kind of, if anyone knows what nuke map is, I kind of showed these gentlemen what nuke map was.
It's scary.
It's interesting, actually.
It's interesting.
But
if you think about it, a little scary.
Kind of scary.
How do they know that information?
What do you mean, how do they know?
What information?
The amount of damage that it's going to do in one city center. I know they just put a broad radius on it, but it looked kind of specific.
No,
the one that he sent.
It's called physics. They know what the yield of a nuclear bomb is.
I can't even spell physics. Okay.
No, it was an actual guy who actually knows how to simulate that kind of stuff. It's
more
just
mathematical.
It's literally just math.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I stand corrected again.
It's okay. We love you anyway.
Hopefully,
It was put together by Oppenheimer.
Oh man, you probably could do that. Anyway, no, but it got my juices flowing, my mental juices flowing.
Thank God he said mental. I was wondering where that was going.
Okay, well, anyway.
Nukes get my juice.
Anyway.
So if nuclear warfare breaks out, we know where he's gonna be.
It's like, hey,
Devin, finish up. We gotta go.
Wow. No.
There's the line, and Eric crossed it.
No,
as usual.
I have to. It's my
I'm sorry. Please continue. We need to shut up.
No, so the whole idea was, we end up with a lot. Every time we talk about the Second Amendment regarding, having equal military force, the militia having equal military force as our actual standing army. Mm-hmm. A lot of the times, anti-gun people will usually escalate the idea. You'll start with, firearms, right? But then they'll be like, well, what about a bazooka?
RPGs,
or
right.
Or
it automatically goes to...
Or tanks, or fighter jets, But then they really want to they just want to go straight for their quote-unquote jugular. They're like, well, do you want anyone to have a nuke? What about a nuclear bomb? That's what the military has. Do you want that? You know what I mean? So, and they sound like that, too.
They do.
So they had nuclear bombs?
Right. So...
You're probably offending a few people right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey,
those
First
guys-
Amendment,
those-
okay? Allowed to say what we want, Second Amendment. We're allowed
Sometimes-
to protect what we say.
Sometimes some of those people need to be offended. Now he just sounds. Anyway, all right. So the question is, so I guess I know how I would answer, but let's start with you.
Start with me.
Yes.
Yes.
How would you answer that rhetorical? Well, what
Should
about
we have nukes?
What about nuclear bombs?
Yes.
Do you really think that
Yes.
people are capable?
No. Question is, now defend it.
I have a nuke. I don't have to.
I mean, you ain't wrong, but let's say
I know. In all honesty, I think that one's kind of more of a gray area. Because, I mean, God forbid that if that thing goes off.
Showing off your buddies. Hey, look at this. This is my nuke. You see it right here?
And then you get, I can't say this word for YouTube, but Johnny the R word, walking up going, oh, took him a second to get there.
Hi, I'm Johnny.
But you get Johnny the R word walking up to him, what did Big Red Button do? And then, next thing you know, the entire county is leveled.
County. That's if you have like a small tac nuke.
You saw a nuke map.
I know.
It's
But they're
multiple
at the
counties.
center of the explosion.
You put the nuke map somewhere,
Ground.
so we know.
Well, at least they don't have to feel anything.
Yeah. Think about it. It'll be like that scene from, I think it was Terminator 2. With
Which one?
Sarah Connor, she's like gripping the fence in like a flashlight or something, and then the nuke goes off. I know it's a Terminator.
You've seen that movie, right?
Yes, I've seen that. I've seen Terminator, Terminator 2.
Okay. He hasn't seen Predator.
Or Star Wars.
I'm just not listen, I got nothing against Star Wars.
Wait. Okay. Time out. Big time out. How is it?
It's gonna take us forever to get through this.
I know, this is a side trail. We're going on for a while.
How is it that you will watch Harry Potter but not Star Wars?
Okay, in my defense, my wife started watching Harry Potter first.
So?
And then I got immediately sucked into it.
So we need to tell her to watch Star Wars, and then he'll get sucked into it.
I mean,
Star Wars, it
possibility.
literally has wars in the name.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about the fact that technically Harry Potter is just a Star Wars ripoff?
It is. Harry Potter is literally a Star Wars ripoff.
Literally?
Literally.
Yeah,
All right.
pretty much.
I will watch Star Wars sometime in the near future just to appease
I will watch
you.
it with you, just so we can...
I'll watch it with you.
I will do it just to appease you guys. How about that?
Okay.
Sounds
All right.
good.
Side trail over.
We successfully
That was the-
manipulated
that
this
was
man
the
into watching Star
fastest
Wars.
side trail we've ever been on.
All right, next time, Barbenheimer.
What?
The
Did
Bar-
you just mix Barbie and Oppenheimer?
The Barbie Oppenheimer duel.
I'm
double-
not watching Barbie.
double
I got no desire. None.
It's okay, I didn't watch it, but anyway, so
He says yes.
So-
okay, so
he
it was
says-
jokingly.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, again, it seems kind of great based on the Second Amendment, considering that right shall not be infringed. But I mean, there are a couple people I've met that I'm like, you can carry a gun? That's
Right.
scary. But
yeah,
I sure as heck wouldn't want those people having nukes.
right.
And I do think that where I draw this line is by using the actual definition of weapons of mass destruction.
Right.
Most people tend to go, oh, you have an AR-15 that has a 30-round clip.
Shoots 30 rounds a second.
30 rounds.
No, 30 bullets a second. In a 30 magazine clip.
30 magazine.
30 magazines.
Clipazine.
These people who are fighting for gun control are
So,
morons.
no joke, and I'm not going to turn this political, but I have to make this comment, right? It's just a comment based from a politician. It's not indicative of what side I stand on, even though I think that side might be clear. I think it was Dianne Feinstein. I believe it was Dianne Feinstein. She's a senator in California, I believe. Mm-hmm. She, in advocating for more gun laws, once said that we have laws in this country that prevent us from hunting ducks with more than 3 shells in a shotgun. She said 3 rounds in a shotgun, but it's shells. And then she said, but it's legal to hunt human beings with 30 rounds. last I checked, hunting human beings with any rounds at all is murder in the
With
first
one
degree.
Right.
With hunting them with your bare hands.
Hunting human beings, period, is murder in the first degree. So
It's not.
Good.
That's what we call murder.
yeah.
Right.
So no, it's not legal.
Right. It's legal to hunt human. Lady, where have you been? Because it ain't been legal to do that for a long time. You ever heard of the greatest... Wait. What was that book that we read in, like, middle school? It was like The Great Escape or... Not The Great Escape. The Great Hunt. Ah! It's going to escape me now.
I mean, you got to
Like
remember,
the Great
my high
Escape?
school was a bit far removed from your high school, so
Yeah, well...
so we were reading.
I got that South Florida education.
I got that homeschool education.
That explains a lot.
Did you have to read 1984?
Moving on.
So
Well, it's your turn now. 'cause-
Oh, it's my turn.
Remember, it's my
Okay.
question.
I didn't finish it.
Oh,
'Cause we
I
keep taking so much
apologize.
pills.
I'm sorry. Please
So,
finish.
but in terms of like weapons of mass destruction, I mean, I think certain levels of explosives we should be allowed to own, like tannerite should not be touched, and then maybe some other explosions
Tannerite is legal.
up to 50 pounds, and you need a license.
You learn something new every day. I did not know that.
Yeah. So. But I would say with the actual weapons of mass destructions, like the massive missiles and nukes and stuff, maybe we shouldn't put those in just anyone's hands. But
Agreed.
like these things, I don't even know why we're limiting firearms. It makes no sense at all.
I will say, I think flat out when it comes to nuclear weapons, missiles, stuff like that, no. I don't think the everyday average person should have that. Why? I'll tell you why. Because these get abused every day by getting into the wrong hands. People sit there and claim that more gun laws and more of this, more of that, background checks, all that's going to stop people from getting this. No, it's not. And I'll prove it to you. I watched a documentary on gun making in the Philippines. And the Philippines were literally making 1911s out of scrap pieces of metal and rocks. It took them a month to make a 1911 in the Philippines. But they made it out of scrap metal and sharpening it with rocks. And to this day, there's a brand, I can't say the name, but there's a brand that if you get that certain 1911 and it says made in the Philippines, guaranteed it was made by those people.
I mean, even going as far as to like consider the guy who assassinated the Prime Minister of Japan. Did you see that one?
Yeah, he built his gun.
Yeah, literally out of like pipes. And
Pipes, wood, and a stinking shotgun shell. It's all it
like
took.
friggin' duct tape.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So that's what I'm saying. People abuse firearms. That is not the majority of gun owners. The majority of gun owners are sane, sober, moral citizens, and they don't abuse that stuff. But it does get abused, which is why I say nukes should not end up, or any missiles for that matter. Now, I agree with you.
Wait, come out. You said missiles. When you say missiles, are you talking specifically nuclear missiles? Or just missiles in general? Because we talked about RPGs. Are you okay with RPGs? Because that's basically a rocket. That's essentially the same as a missile.
Is there a different classification for that type of missile aside from the name RPG? But
It's just all it is guidance.
okay, so
It's
like
literally
when I think of missiles, I'm thinking of like the ones you shot out of that truck when you served in the military.
But why not? I mean, that's what you would be shooting if you had a aircraft.
Well,
Fighter jets have them.
Okay, going specifically off of nuclear weapons then, no. No, I don't think they should have them. They should not be. I honestly, I would be okay with every country getting rid of them. And I know that's probably controversial, but hey, the minute one of those goes off, okay. Now, prior to World War II, okay, like the minute one of those goes off now, it's going to be everybody coming at everybody. Right? And that's how I feel. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But I'm just saying, like, I'd be okay with them getting... Because, look, we dropped a bomb Trump dropped a bomb called the mother of all bombs.
The Moab.
The Moab. That sucker was massive. Wasn't it dropped off the back of a C-130?
That's the only way you can drop it.
Right. Off of a cargo plane. For those who don't know what a C-130 is, it is a military-grade cargo plane. Military-grade? Is that proper? Probably not.
I mean, I guess technically yes, but when you say it like that, it sounds like it's...
It sounds like it's made cheap.
Cheap and about to crash every 5 seconds, yeah.
No, okay, so it's a military cargo plane. Let's put it that way. Not military-grade. Because anything military-grade does not mean it's great.
Civilians use the same type of plane. It's just built, it's just designed a little different. So it's
right.
The same.
For example, without the guns.
Right. Well, that's the AC-130.
I was going to say the AC-130. The C-130, I don't think has
is
any
strictly
guns.
cargo.
But regardless, like I said, I'd be okay with every country just saying, hey, look, we're going to scrap this program. But, okay, you don't have nuclear, but now you still have the ability for massive missiles. I mean, it's insane.
The thing about...
But remember, the question is, do you believe we should have the same... You're starting to draw the lines just like the anti-gun people. They're like, well, where's the line start? Because remember, if we're talking about missiles, well, now what about tanks? Are you good with tanks?
I think yes on tanks. I think
Then
yes
why
on
not-
F-22 Raptors.
Then why not... Wait, you're okay with Raptors?
F-22s, yeah.
They shoot missiles.
Okay.
Okay, we need to explain yourself on when it comes to missiles. What is your stance?
Okay,
on missiles.
I think all is fair in love and war. Okay?
Well, I don't know about war, but
Well, it ain't a war crime the first time, just saying. But if it came down to it, and I almost feel like we could almost make the case for the anti-gunners if we kept talking about it, because where we draw the line, then they're going to say, well, if you draw the line there, then why not here? Why not here? And keep going lower and lower and lower, right? Mm. But I think, I don't know.
I mean, for nukes, for missiles, I mean, I'm thinking like, maybe these are technically nuclear warheads, but I'm thinking like stuff launched out of silos. Like the massive.
That's ICBMs, which is typically nuclear.
Okay, so but in terms of like nukes and stuff, that's a heavy responsibility. Yeah. Not to mention that you need proper housing, because if that core goes off or something,
right.
The missile may not have to explode, but your family will melt and your neighbors will melt.
Let me put it to you this way: each state having their own arsenal, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Right.
Yeah, but
but again, I don't know that it should be in the hands of civilians. I think the governor should be able to hold that.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to nukes, it's like, because also think about it like this: you got an ICBM. If it's privately owned, what's stopping you from launching that missile into North Korea and then, starting a war, essentially?
Well,
there's the other question, or the thing to go with that. And you talked about earlier, you don't think anyone should have nuclear capabilities, right?
Give me 5 seconds.
But what about we have these unhinged countries like North Korea,
right?
Iran, places like that who want nuclear power. So, and I guarantee you that want for the nuclear power isn't going to stop if everyone disarmed.
Oh, absolutely.
Because now they're like, now we're the only ones with this.
Yeah.
Well, that's what gave the U.S. the advantage in World War II when we dropped the bombs.
Right.
We were the only ones who had atomic bombs. That's why.
Were we? Mm-hmm. I thought. Oh.
That was when they were first invented. So
okay. Right.
So that's what. Technically.
Here comes the sun.
2 times over.
2 times.
It was basically Tatooine.
I'm just saying, Japan is the land of the rising sun, but in the 40s it became the land of the falling sun twice.
Not even 2 different worlds. See, with the 1911, you can say 2 world wars. With that, you can't even say that. It's like, nope, 1 world war. They were both dropped.
But
we said FU 2 times.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
I forgot. I got distracted.
My bad. It happens. No, so what I was going to say, though, going along the lines of when you said, like, all these other lower, lesser countries end up having these nuclear bombs, I think that's the problem, too, right? Is upkeep and maintenance. I mean, look at some of the stuff that is coming out of the Russia-Ukraine war. Like, there's stuff that's being sent out on the front lines that was used in the 40s that is in almost inoperable condition. So not only do you have the responsibility of you now have a nuke as a citizen, you have to maintain it. Because like he said, if not, you're leveling your city, possibly your state. Sorry, Rhode Island. You know, I mean, you're possibly leveling a whole lot more than just...
One of the islands in Hawaii is just gone now.
It's a whole...
Oh, too soon. Too soon. Hawaii is still dealing with their bullcrap right now.
They're always doing.
One island that is not Maui might be gone soon.
If we weren't making fun of them because of some recent thing that happened to them, we would never be making fun of them.
Wow.
So guess what? I'm making fun of them all the time, so it doesn't matter.
He's an equal opportunity offender,
Exactly.
people.
So am I.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
It's a good point, and that's the thing about, like, in terms of nuclear disarmament, it's an all or nothing game.
Yeah.
Meaning all the countries need to
agreed.
disarm, or none of them can, because, like, you know, like I was mentioning for the 40s, back in World War II, we had the advantage, and they gave us the ability because these countries literally could not retaliate against us with a nuclear strike. But now, because the U.S., Russia, China, Iran's working on theirs, UK, they've all got nukes.
I think Germany has some too, don't they? Germany or France, one of those countries has a couple.
I think virtually every developed country has
No,
some nukes.
no. There's only like 2 handfuls of countries total that have nuclear warheads.
That's because there's only like 2 handfuls of developed countries. That's not even a lie. That's just...
Sorry, guys. The rest of y'all are third world. My bad.
Well, you got first world, second world, third world.
Yeah.
Only the first world countries really have nukes, and there's a couple of third world countries that are trying to have them.
Yeah.
But
Iran's working on theirs.
Yep.
But now that every single country has nukes, but that would probably
that
fight more
matters.
than the developed ones.
That would actually be able to fight.
Yeah. Technically, if we launch our nukes at Russia, they're going to launch theirs back. It only serves mutual assured destruction at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is probably, I think Ukraine also has some nukes, which is why Russia is not launching theirs more specifically.
Right.
I don't know that Ukraine does. They might have like heavy stuff that's been given to them by other countries. I don't know that they've
But
been
even
given
if
that.
let's say even if they don't, they do have people who would retaliate for them.
Right.
So
Well, that again, yeah. So it's weird because they're almost being treated like a NATO country, but they're not a NATO country at the moment.
yeah, well, they've been trying to become one for a while.
They've been trying to, but I think during a state of war, I don't think you can be added into that.
You can't.
So they put the application, and then when Russia invaded them, and it wasn't technically a war then, still, according to certain Russian people, still not a war. It's a military exercise, but
No, it's an exercise, all right. And they're failing.
they are failing
Like,
horribly.
You're really losing that war game, man.
I know. It's a military exercise. It's like, I think you need to pull some weight off. Start smaller, work your way up.
Right. Well, they've been trying to go
Work on that cardio. Work on that cardio.
So
You'd be a better sprinter than a weightlifter.
Think about it, though. Russia's been going in small steps. In 2014, they took Crimea. And, you know, in certain areas, they took certain areas of Ukraine, and nobody batted an eye. And then this time, they're like, screw it, we're going to take the whole kit and caboodle. And now it's like, well, you're getting your teeth kicked in now.
Right.
Yep. So the way I'd see it is, whenever if I were to ever get that question, I have actually run into this question. It's less about whether should civilians have it. It's actually more tactical for me.
Mm-hmm.
If the militia is in fact designed to be, as according to the Second Amendment, designed to be providing the security of a free state, right, to cast off tyrants, to defend against foreign nations, that kind of thing.
And it's supposed to be
And it's
the
supposed
people.
to be, we're supposed to be defending our land.
Right.
Right? What would you use the nuke for?
Yeah.
So
There'd
there's
be
no-
nothing left.
It's not, because remember, nukes are designed more for firing against a foreign enemy
Right.
elsewhere,
Right.
not on
Sorry.
top.
What are you
I
just giggling
I'm
about
just
over here?
thinking. Like, I caught the neighbor sleeping with my wife. Launch the missiles.
Oh man!
Oh my gosh.
It's like, well,
Now your house is gone, your neighbor's house is gone.
I'll take us all out. I don't even care.
it's like,
I'm not married, by the way.
We
but
all
it's a
gonna
joke.
die? No. But yeah, it's
Like
it's-
Oprah, you're gonna die, and you're gonna die, and you're gonna die.
like the,
You get nuclear radiation. You get nuclear radiation.
like the. It's like poor old nuclear fallout, man.
This is the crap that goes on in his head randomly.
Yeah,
I don't know, whoever I end up with and has the misfortune to marry me one day, she better be tough.
Well,
If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough.
I'm just saying, like, all those guys, like, rising up to go meet God. It's like, bro, we didn't even do anything. Why'd you take us out? It's like, y'all witnessed it and didn't say nothing. Guilty by association.
Bro, I'm 3 blocks away. I didn't even know you or your wife.
Just looks at him. Oops.
It's like, my bad. It's like, no, but because even like a tactical,
There's always casualties in war.
like war never changes. It's like war never changes. No, because even like a
We've
tactical.
got to be on, like, a federal watch list, right?
Oh, you for sure.
Well, I already know I am. I was in the military. I probably got my own satellite, man.
Great.
Like,
Get out.
Drones overhead right now.
It's like, no, but because even a tactical nuke, right? It's pretty hefty.
Yeah.
So it's like, what would you actually need it for?
The neighbor.
I mean, beyond that. But let's say for like the actual reason for the Second Amendment, right?
Right.
So it's like you wouldn't really have a tactical purpose
Right.
to send it to defend your own land, because then you have to wait for the nuclear fallout to subside, and you have to rebuild that. And now you're
Like I said, I think nukes all the way around. It's bad for everybody involved. I mean, regardless if you push the button first or you don't. Because if you push the button first, you're gonna have 3 more coming your way from. Oh, we're launching. We're launching. Okay.
well.
I
That's
mean, North Korea's might blow up in their
wait,
own silo, but
Well,
you
you
know.
got to remember that's from a nationality point of view.
Right.
We're talking more like the militia,
Right.
right? If the militia fires at Washington, Russia's not going to go start firing at.
Sure. No.
Russia's like, I want to participate.
Right. Russia's like, hey, you need guns?
Russia's just like,
us civilians have better guns than you got. Russia,
Russia's
go
just
sit
like-
down.
Russia comes by, they're like, can I help y'all? I just want to know what it feels like to be on the winning side.
I've seen that one coming, by the way. Oh my gosh.
They already
Dude, that was awesome.
Dude, they already know what it's been on the winning side. They were our ally in World War II.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
But only
Putin
because-
doesn't.
Still funny.
Well, that's right. Putin. Well. Poor
Poor Russian bastard.
Putin.
No,
Like,
I agree.
always say always a bridesmaid, never the bride.
He said it. He said it. I was trying to figure out which way it goes on the camera. He said it, not me. Listen, I agree though. No,
Is Russia
I
gonna invade
think
the house?
I think when it comes down to
I've
it,
seen them fight. They're not going to win.
don't meet Devin at 3 o'clock in the morning because you're gonna see Devin and his skivvies just. Welcome to the gun show.
They're gonna send tanks, and it's like we'll send tanks to come take you. And it's like they're gonna run out of gas like 50 miles past. Who cares?
It's like they're going to be on foot coming to me anyway.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like oh, you're sending tanks. There's a gas station there. You got options.
Yeah.
But bring them.
No, but going off of what you said, I would have to say I absolutely agree, because if it came down to it, like, the militia is there for one purpose and one purpose alone, and it's to keep a tyrannical government at bay. And I agree. Like, we're not going to throw down on our own people like that.
Or to defend it.
We will throw down on our own people if it calls for it, but not like that.
Well, tyrannical people, yeah.
Tyrannical, right. Not our people. Tyrannical peoples.
Yeah. Foreign and domestic. So it's
Foreign and domestic, hey.
But it's
You know that saying is now on a FBI watch list now? People who say...
Well, yeah.
It's funny because it's people who say that are on an FBI watch list. What do they do when they swear in soldiers?
Yeah, all the military.
All the military says that same thing.
That's why I'm on the watch list.
I mean, it makes sense, hey?
It's like, that's one of the things that we...
The FBI agent's just sitting there as you're getting sworn in. It's just like, wait, what did you just say?
No. The FBI agent listening to our conversations and probably this podcast is probably going, check. Oh, they said that one. Check. Nobody said that one yet. Check.
You saw the...
All we need is the Gadsden flag, and then we'll be good to go.
Oh, fun story. So, quick little trail off. Sorry.
Speaking of the Gadsden flag, I need to show you a meme that I don't.
So listen, I went to the fort. Have you guys been to St.? You've been there to the fort in St. Augustine.
Yes.
Have you been there?
I actually have.
Okay.
I can get in there free.
So.
Actually, I didn't get it. I didn't get to
I'm
go.
in the military. I can get into places that's freer than you can, idiot. Sorry.
Hey, it's the national parks.
I think it's awesome. I think it's a good. It's a small perk,
So-
but I think it's a good perk for military to have to be able to do that. But what I wanted to say was, in the prison, I walked into one of the rooms in the fort, and in the prison, it talked about the statesman who the Gadsden flag is named after was held in that prison in solitary confinement for like 48 months or something like that, or 42 months. I was like, that's awesome. Like, he was literally held in the prison in that fort in St. Augustine.
It's pretty cool.
I think his name was
I don't think I knew
Christopher Gadsden, I think. He was a statesman in North Carolina.
Actually, I don't know his name.
I'm going to look it up right
So
now.
the sad part is
That's
I've
like,
actually...
I'm learning something. That's cool.
I actually never been into the base, though. I think they were closed at that time. And because
was it during COVID?
No, it was years ago. I think it was like I was 17 at the time, I think. So that was like 7 years ago. But we had gone to St. Augustine because it was Mother's Day. My mom wanted to see the sunrise in St. Augustine, and so the fort was closed because we were there at like 7 o'clock.
I should take you over there.
Please.
It is awesome.
I want to go.
What is it? I think it's
Road trip.
So he
You'll have
gets
to
in
pay,
free,
though.
but you're like...
How much is it?
It's like $15 to get in.
Oh yeah, see, easy.
It's not bad at all, and it's so cool. Like, we got to
15
watch
bucks.
the live fire demonstration. They fired a cannon.
Oh wow.
And it echoes throughout. Like, there's a whole big waterway right here. When you're on top of the fort, you can look and just see the whole waterway. And it's like, boom! When they let off that cannon, dude, you could hear that sucker echo from 3 miles away.
You know what's cool about that, or crazy about that?
What?
They only use about, I think, a quarter of the actual powder that they would normally use, and it doesn't have the cannon ball in there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have that super rapid expansion right after the ball gets sent out.
Yeah.
So it would have been louder in real life, like
Oh.
the actual report, like this thing actually firing real artillery
Yeah.
would be like 4 times louder than what it is.
Well, it was like that guy at the range we went to on the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. They played the national anthem right before they opened the range up, and then they fired a cannon, but it was a real small one. It was more like a, I guess
it was a mortar. It was a
cannon.
mortar.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
I was gonna say artillery. I was like,
a
cannons are artillery.
Well, mortars are technically artillery as
Yeah.
well. It's just an infantry.
I know,
They had
but
mortars
artillery
on top of that,
cannon.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
Or-
huge, fat mortars that shoot, like, more up and then down.
Well, that's how all mortars
I
are.
know. I was saying that.
That's what defines a mortar.
That was stupid, I know.
Say, think
Before you speak.
Did you know? I won't go there.
Do you know the muffin? Sorry.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! Oh my god.
Well, she's married to the
Muffin
Man.
Man.
The Muffin Man.
The Muffin
God.
Man?
This is why we don't get stuff done right here, because all of us end up on a tangent and a trail. Okay, so let me read this really quick. The flag is named for Christopher Gadsden, got that right, a South Carolina, got that wrong,
Sounds good.
delegate to the Continental Congress and a brigadier general in the Continental Army,
Brigadier.
whatever, who designed the flag in 1775 during the American Revolution. He gave the flag to Commodore Essex Hopkins, and it was unfurled on Main Street mast of Hopkins' flagship USS Alfred. That is the Wikipedia, but so it said his name. It said statesman from South Carolina, Christopher Gadsden, was held in solitary confinement in that prison for 42 months.
From Dune.
Oh, that's right. Bro, that's coming out in a couple months.
They pushed it back till next year because of the strike. The writer's strike.
Dead down.
Sorry.
I'm mad about this.
I'm kind of mad.
I don't know why I'm sitting here trying to describe it. I literally took a picture of this. I'm such a ding dong.
It's okay. I do the same thing. It's like I take a picture so I don't forget, and then I forget I took a picture.
You remember the thing, but forgot the picture.
Well, I forgot that I took the picture.
It says here in the prison, this small cell acted as the town jail for the Spanish, and as a military jail under British occupation during the American Revolution. There was a period there. Poor grammar. During the American Revolution, South Carolina statesman and patriot Christopher Gadsden was held in solitary confinement for 42 weeks, not months. I apologize. That is why I took a picture, so I would remember, and there's the prison.
Nice.
That prison cell legitimately was maybe this room that we're in and a third more. And it was dirt floor, like, it was built into the side of the stinking fort. It looked like a cave. I was like, that sucks, dude.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of the so Fort Sill, where I was stationed, right?
Yeah.
It's the oldest still functioning Army base, all right? And they have the old Fort Sill there. They still have all the original buildings there, including the old jailhouse, or at least so it was like a house, but the basement was also used as a jail.
Yeah, I've seen that before in old houses.
Yeah. So, but the cool thing is, Geronimo was kept there for a while.
Really?
And then Geronimo's grave is over there in Fort Sill. So you can literally go over there and see where he was stuck in. Like they placed him whenever they would capture him, and then they have him buried there. And you know where the whole famous where supposedly he jumps off a thing and then screams Geronimo.
Yeah.
Which he never said Geronimo, but
didn't they say that because of that guy?
yeah, people say it when they jump out of a plane and it's like Geronimo. Well, but that cliff that he jumped off is there in Fort Sill.
Nice.
So you can actually go over there and just look at the bluffs that he leapt off of.
I need to make a correction. I've not seen houses that have been like that. I've seen old jail houses that were like that because up in where I lived up in Indiana, there's a town called is it Columbia? I think it's Columbia. There's a haunted house type thing they have over there, but they have it in the old jailhouse that was that county's jailhouse, right?
I think St. Augustine has something like that, don't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I believe so.
I didn't look.
I think it's called the old jailhouse, and it's.
But it was like a regular type deal, like the house, but in the basement area they had like old cells and bars, but the bars didn't. It was the old cells untouched, but without the doors on them, basically. And they had this whole thing set up like a haunted house. Like, let me paint you a picture. You walk downstairs, okay? It's pitch black. It's like 11 o'clock outside at night or whatever. And I'm walking through this tiny corridor. I've got Stephanie like gripping the back of me because she just holds on to people apparently when she walks through a haunted house. It's hilarious. But I've got her and like 4 other people behind me, like everybody's holding on like a train, right? And I walk through this long corridor. You've got all these jail cells, and it's pitch. It was like a movie. It was the weirdest thing. It's like pitch black, but then through the darkness comes walking this clown, and I went, "Oh, stay there, bro!" I was like, "You touch me, whoo, I'm going to jail. They're gonna put me in that cell right there." And the clown started laughing. Whoever the guy was, apparently I made him laugh, and he didn't try to scare me as I walked by. But I don't like clowns.
You don't say.
I don't like. I swear, if you show up at my house, just know you're gonna get what you got coming through that door.
Right.
Okay.
So this is what we do when the boog happens. You and I dress up like.
I promise you, y'all will get a buckshot through the door.
This dude must have been miserable in 2016.
Oh man.
Oh no! I was waiting. I had my pistol. I had my gun permit, bro. I was waiting for a clown to come, and you know what? It was happening in Ohio, Indiana. That whole Midwest area is where all that stuff was happening. You know what I did? I wish somebody would.
Until they come around the corner where you don't see me.
I didn't say I would be screaming, but I would be letting loose some lead.
He would let loose some lead while screaming like a little schoolgirl. So.
And that's what we think about civilians owning nukes.
So what?
That's why you don't let civilians own nukes. Right there.
So, speaking of St. Augustine, though.
Okay.
We're still on the tangent.
We are tangent away. We've left nukes.
You been to St. Augustine or Lighthouse yet?
No, so I wanted to go to that. We drove by there. We went to the sand dune beach or whatever over there. So we passed the lighthouse. You could clearly see the lighthouse from the top of the fort. Mm-hmm. And the guys that were doing the live fire demonstration said that that was 3 miles away. And they said the reason why they didn't put a live projectile in that is because it would practically reach that stinking lighthouse.
Yeah.
So
So
the guy was like, how many people were waiting for a splash in the water? Because it was like a waterway right next to us. Right. A big waterway, like a bay area.
Yeah.
And he's like, how many of y'all were looking for a splash in the water? And he goes, yep. I was like, I knew why, but.
Yeah, it's cool because so the reason I asked about the lighthouse because you were talking about haunted houses and stuff.
Yeah.
And St. Augustine is actually a certified haunted place.
Like the whole city?
Yeah.
No, not the city, just the lighthouse.
Well, St. Augustine does a lot of like ghost tours.
They do.
But
well, St. Augustine's one of the oldest cities in the country.
Yeah, the reason I say they're certified, quote unquote, because if you ever watch the show Ghost Hunters,
yeah,
they actually like scientifically do stuff, but they actually caught some interesting stuff in that. It was like, oh.
I used to be big.
I was actually when I was up
when I was in like middle school, but I'm like, I realized it was just demons, and I'm like, nope, don't want to play with that.
When I was in the Panhandle, my sister-in-law was watching a lot of videos like that, and a good portion of the stuff that they were showing were from St. Augustine.
Yeah, because
again, one of the oldest cities in the country.
It's the oldest city.
The oldest city? The oldest city in the country. Huh. The more you know.
Yeah,
I thought the Villages would be the oldest city in the country.
That thing up there.
The which one?
Ding.
I thought the Villages would be the oldest city in the country.
I didn't hear you. What?
I said I thought the Villages would be the oldest city in the country.
What Villages?
We're not talking about age. Oldest and weirdest. Okay. He's talking about the Villages up just north of Orlando.
Yeah.
The place that does the loofahs.
The Villages
to figure out what kind of stuff you're into.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, the Villages is like one giant retirement home, basically.
Oh. Excuse me. One giant retirement home filled with AIDS.
Well,
and STDs.
Look, fun fact, I used to work in retirement assisted living as my first job. They're the number one place of transmission for STDs.
Really?
Yeah. So like part of my orientation, I
have so many questions.
It is can't get pregnant no more. So
like what are we talking about now?
I don't know. Somehow we got onto the topic of like old people and STDs.
STDs with
but retirement and assisted living communities
went from
they're the
WMDs to STDs.
That needs to be the title. That needs to be the title right there. WMDs to STDs. Figure out why we talk about it.
So, but part of my orientation, I literally had to, even though I was in food service, so like my job had nothing to pertain to it. I still had to learn about like HIV, AIDS, herpes, and like all these other STDs in case that I have open cuts or.
Sorry, I think a package just got hijacked. Hold on. Go ahead.
So just in case, or like if I end up picking up a needle or something, like, accidentally prick yourself with it, because a lot of people in retirement assisted living homes have STDs.
That's rough.
Yes. And I had one resident give me a kiss on the cheek once, and I was like, she always, like, she smelled that she went. I immediately, I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Ran over to a
His stuff got stolen.
But I immediately, like, I just said, oh, thank you, I appreciate it, you're so nice. And I walked over to a hand sanitizer station. I'm like,
Just, it's like, well, cut off that cheek.
Chop
it off. I can no longer have this cheek.
It's bad.
Good thing it has to be
And all the jokes about, like, the old ladies hitting on you if you're young is true.
And that's why I will never work in or near an old folks home.
Oh, I had a resident, she would smack my butt every time I was cleaning a table.
I mean,
yeah, I can't say her name, but I would be bent over cleaning a table and she was in a wheelchair. I'm not even paying attention. I'm just wiping down the table, then all of a sudden I just feel, and I'm like, hey! And then turn around, she's there with, like, her crooked swell.
was she a?
I got so many stories.
The question is,
I got so many stories.
was it a firm spank?
Oh.
Whoa! What did I just walk into?
Old
Oh,
lady
he used
spanking.
he used to be spanked by an old lady.
Okay, I have more questions. I'm filled with questions.
I was a teenager. I'm the victim.
Sorry, I had a Amazon driver drop off a package at my house and then come back and pick it back up and leave. I was like, that's different. That's never happened.
Went to the wrong place.
Well, he ended up dropping off another package, but anyways, why?
I didn't ask for it.
Sure.
He's over here like, what were you wearing that night? Maybe
Yeah.
it's your fault.
It's like,
I got
like-
nothing.
it's like, of course they would do that. Or
Oh my gosh, we have gone off the rails.
Fake.
All right, you good? You good?
yeah, I'm good.
All right, you good?
I'm great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for going on this wild ride with us today. This was a wild one. WMDs to STDs. That's all I gotta say. So, we got little trinkets and then new stuff on display. I think Eric said he's gonna bring his whole collection out here for all of FBI and everyone to watch on later. So
Let's just say there's a reason the serial numbers are tilted the opposite way.
I thought he was about to say scratch off. I was gonna say get out. No, get out. I don't know who you are. Erase every video. Anyways, thank you for joining us on the Arms Room 15 podcast, where we give all kinds of nonsense, but we talk about guns and the freedoms that we love and the freedoms that we enjoy, especially the first, but also the second. Devin, any last words? Fascinating. Eric, never mind. You're
Don't work in retirement assisted living. I could probably fill a whole episode up of experiences from just that.
It's like,
all right, back to you.
The Davy Crockett. Look it up.
Yikes. All right, that's all for us. Have a good night.
See ya.